intimidating. It's intimidating. It comes off like, oh, I got to know about math. I got to know about science. I got to know about this. I got to know all that. And it's just not true. So we're going to spill the tea on technology.
The tea on, I like that. I like that.
Hello, and welcome to the Bold Black Girls Podcast. I'm Aries.
And I'm Kim.
And welcome to our podcast. And make sure you are subscribed. I'm going to start trying to remember to say this early on because, you know, I want people to start subscribing. Get notified. All right. Anywho, this week, it's been a minute. We have not talked about technology. We need to talk about getting into tech. That is what we're going to talk about today. I think it scares people when we say STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. They be like, math, I'm out.
Not when they're talking about math and that money.
I'm out. But it still scares people. Again, you feel like, at least from what I've heard from people, it's intimidating. It comes off like, oh, I got to know about math. I got to know about science. I got to know about this. I got to know all that. And it's just not true. So we're going to spill the tea on technology.
The tea on, I like that. I like that.
And there's a reason why we really want to talk about this. You know, I know y'all have seen these studies, but I want to read something to you. And what we're going to talk about today is going to help you at least know more so that you can, try something new.
Right. And we wanted to talk about this topic because of our love for technology.
Yes, we both
benefits.
We both work for tech companies. Yeah. And I've been in technology for a long time, even in the company you're working for before you were in a tech space.
Tech adjacent role.
Yeah. So anywho, I read this article. It was I'm just highlighting a piece of an article that said the typical white American family has roughly 10 times as much wealth as a typical African American family and the typical Latino family. In other words, while the median white household has about $100,000 to $200,000 of net worth, Blacks and Latinos have $10,000 to $20,000 of net worth. Big gap, right?
Huge.
And then also I saw where it said 3.5 million Black American households will have a negative net worth by 2053. And I will say that, TD Jakes has a foundation that he started, and it's giving grants to organizations that are helping provide STEM education to children and other groups that will help fill that gap, right? One of my nonprofit that I'm a part of, we're applied for some grants there as well because we do STEM education, which is why I was telling y'all to get some. Let me know if y'all got girls, specifically Black girls, that you want to get into STEM or learn more about it. We're just trying to get them interested because I feel like once they know what it is, it's less intimidating.
Exactly.
Right?
And they can connect it.
And you don't have to. We got Black girls code, but you don't have to know how to code. I don't know how to code.
Technology.
We use technology every single day. When you pick up your phone and your face gets recognized, somebody created that so that it can recognize your face, right? Facial recognition, artificial intelligence, the algorithm of Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff TikTok. We use technology to create this podcast, right? I mean, I had to go into some YouTube channels and study and learn how to do these things. And a lot of this stuff you can learn online. Okay. So we're going to give you even some of the little tricks of free education places that you can go to learn things, because at the end of the day, if you know what you're talking about, you don't need to have a degree for some of these places. So I want to put that out there. Anywho, right now in technology, Kim, the percentage of Black people are 7% on a good day. And it is a consistent number. Every time I've checked the number, it's the same. It does not go up. So what's happening is we're entering into tech and then we're leaving out. So there are issues that happen. Yes. And a lot of it is just a corporate America type thing. Yeah. And it is a male dominated industry, which a lot of industries are male dominated. If you go into construction, if you go into supply chain, if you go into healthcare,
I was going to say healthcare.
Yeah, most of them are going to be male dominated. So that's just how it is. But a lot of people are not also able to function in a space that has that much of a lack of diversity. So to manage that is an emotional and a mental space that you really have to be in
prepared for.
Have some therapy, have your emotional intelligence together.
Some wellness.
It does take some emotional energy to be in any kind of corporate spaces, specifically if you have not had a family member or someone that you know that can guide you through the office politics and the networking and all the things that you got to do to like make yourself relevant, you know, and seen. And it is a lot of stuff going on. Obviously on their side, there's a lot, but we're specifically talking to y'all, right? Corporate got their own issues, but tech is an area where you can go into and make some bank. Okay. So we're going to talk about that.
Listen, if you listen to tech TikTok, depending on your For You page. Now, I don't know if these people are telling the truth, but I can speak my truth. We'll get more into like the salaries and whatnot, but people are making 6 figures, right? And right now with the Great Resignation, lots of people are moving companies, increasing their salaries well over 20,000 or more.
Yeah. And technology is one of those fields where you can make money fast.
And you don't even have to code.
You don't have to code. You don't have to have a good degree in computer science. You have a computer degree or something, right?
What's your degree? You could call it. It's computer information systems.
That's still, yeah. Like I did not get a degree at all in nothing technology.
Really? Oh, political science. That's right.
Political science is my undergrad degree, and my master's degree is in business administration because I did want to go into leadership. That was my aspirations, and I just did not want nothing to stop me from being able to apply to certain jobs. But I always worked in tech on the side, right? So I started out in tech support.
I love it.
Which is just troubleshooting problems where they teach you everything you need to know. I didn't have to know none of the stuff
great
beforehand.
Way to get started.
Right. So I was just like, people's internet was down. So like working at an AT&T or, you know, places where, you know, back in my day, it's like you work at the phone company.
Phone company.
Work at the phone company. I worked at Pacific Bell, and then I worked those call center type environment. Right. So those are kind of other jobs that are specifically, you know, obviously depending upon where you're at level wise, it's an entry level into the skills that you need to be good at, you know, some of the skills that you need as you move up into this space, right? Because I was doing this analysis the other day about when I was doing that article thing.
What article thing?
The for Voyage.
Oh, yes.
And I was thinking about my career, and I'm like, I started out in tech support. The skills that I started with are the same skills I use today. Those are skills that just have evolved and grew into other parts of the business. So we want to talk to y'all about, you know, not necessarily being in a tech role, because some of the roles we're going to share with y'all are going to be tech roles. They may be tech roles,
but most of them are tech companies.
If you get them at being at a tech company alone can increase your salary, right? Because these are companies that got money,
that are making money.
So you coming in as an operations manager, you can demand money, and you're still in tech, but you may not necessarily be doing a tech role. So that's some of the stuff we were about to share with y'all. So I thought this was interesting because I'm like, we always get hit up by people talking about, I want to get into tech. What do I need to do? You know?
Yes. Or I want to work at this company, or what are the top companies that I should apply for?
Yeah.
So we can talk about that. And just from a personal testimony, leaving a non-tech company and going over to a tech company, significantly increased my salary.
Yeah.
Which I'm mad that I didn't leave sooner.
I know. I tell people at other companies, I'm like, if you leave, you're going to make some money. You need to just go on and leave.
Yeah. And even once you start to work at those tech companies, it goes down in the DM.
It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM,
actually. So,
yeah. So let's first talk about skills. I want to talk about skill sets, right? Some of the transferable skills, y'all. When you look at a job, look at the required skills, okay? Because really, it will lighten your heart on if you should apply to a job or not. Because honestly, we'll look at, these are the things that you're going to be doing. And you'll be like, I never did this. Okay, so what? I've never done none of the jobs that I've never done before.
Yes.
The job that I'm applying for. Correct. Obviously, I never worked there. I never did it there. It's different. Whatever it is, it's different. But I didn't know. But I have a skill set in certain areas that are transferable into any role that I'm going to be in, no matter what it is, right?
No matter.
So one of the number one skill sets I would say is good oral and written communication.
Absolutely.
If you can write well, like your grammar needs to be together, in a professional manner, right? Just be able to business, right? Yeah. Like just be able to, how we
there are jobs even in that. Writing manuals.
I used to hire tech writers.
Yes.
And they weren't like technical. They just were people who knew how to write, and we needed them to write standard operating procedures, onboarding documents, business requirements documents, things like that. If you know how to write well and you can make your paragraphs look right, that's a job. And being able to present things to people is a skill as well.
And to influence them. I know I communicate a lot in terms of like presentation decks, presenting to different groups to help them understand things that they need to be doing, that's forthcoming, and then to really kind of encourage them to use a certain type of service or a product.
Yes.
And how they can position it with their clients.
And when I first started out, kind of moving more into I worked at AT&T for a long time. I did the tech support thing, left there, went to Cisco Systems for 6.5 years. One of the roles that I started with was called an IT analyst, which I didn't know what the heck that was when I even got the job.
Oh, wow.
They just solved the skills I had problem solving at AT&T, helping people fix their internet. Because you think
you had to analyze
critically.
That. Yep.
So critical thinking is a big one, right?
Thinking is big.
These are the things that your parents be like, think.
Well, we hope some of y'all parents are telling y'all kids
right. Like be like,
If you are a parent,
use your brain.
Start having your kids to think critically and creatively.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's a big one. Like to be able to problem solve and think critically. Those are what things that they can use that. How to get to the root cause of a problem, right? So I know how to backwards
reverse engineer.
Right. Like when you lose your keys and you be like, where was I at? Hold on, let me back up. I walked over here, then I went over there, then I did this. So when people will call in, they'll be like, my computer not working. I'm like, okay, so how long has it been working?
Right.
When was the last time it was working? Okay, did you do anything? What did you do different? Did you upload a new program? Oh, I downloaded this new antivirus. Okay, cool. What was it? All right, great. Let's take it off. Is it working? Yes. So we know now that the antivirus was the problem, right? So to be able to back into that. So that transferred into a business analyst role, right? Where I'm looking at business problems and saying, let me back up and see what happened. Why is this changed? Why did this number go up? Why are we spending more money here? What happened? Where's the area? So business analyst is another kind of starter role, I would say, that you may not necessarily have to have any. You don't have to have any kind of like coding or none of that.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Those lead into project management roles, which is a heavy need in tech. Technical program manager is even better.
Yep.
Right. But you got to start somewhere. So project management. Technical is just someone who is now more familiar with the language. They know how to communicate with the engineers
around the software.
Exactly.
And they know how to really serve as a liaison to translate between the business and IT.
Yes, exactly. So I have a really great project manager right now working on one of my projects with a customer. And just efficiency. Like you gotta be organized.
I was just gonna say.
Yes. You gotta be organized. You were a project manager for a long time.
I was, and I really loved that role because it gave me an opportunity not only just to learn about the different software programs, but also gave me exposure into the business, because a lot of times people have the technical, they don't know the business. Like I was able to merge both.
Yeah.
I was dual.
Yeah. So if you got that, that's a super great skill set to be able to say, hey, I can, and that was one of my things too, because I'm like, I would know just enough. I know just enough to be dangerous and just enough to, on both sides where I could say, okay, so here's what's going on. Wait, we need someone who knows how to do this. Like you're trying to make sure a project gets completed with the right people who needs to be involved, keeping it organized, stays within budget, scope. In the scope, we don't go all over the place. We keep it, So there's a skill set behind that, and there are different trainings and stuff like that you can do. I said, so we already talked about communication, oral and written. We talked about critical thinking, problem solving,
which people don't realize. Like once you're in some of these roles, you can then continue to evolve and grow. And so for me, I was a PM, but then it evolved into a business consultant, which I use more analytical skills, right? To understand, like you said, what is the problem? How are we going to solve this problem long-term, short-term, and working with the business to put in solutions?
Yes.
And so you'll start to see these different roles, solution engineering, which you think is the engineering, but it's not. You're really solutioning the problem by reverse engineering.
Yes. And so it sounds super technical in tech. Okay, so it's really just a vocabulary.
It can be intimidating.
It is. It's vocabulary
like mansplaining, right? They try and make it a male dominant type of role, I think, or title. Overcomplicate, intimidate, and
what's another?
In a way, I think that it kind of like deters people, especially women.
Oh, it does.
Or people of color from applying.
100%. Women are known to look at some jobs and be like, I don't have all the stuff, so
studies
I'm not gonna apply. And we're like, come on.
And we have to stop thinking like that.
We do, because 9 times out of 10, we're going to kill it. So,
especially you think about it, if you're a mother, do you know how much stuff you organize?
You are a house. First of all, you're a chief operations officer.
Somebody said that they were going to have that added to LinkedIn. If you're,
they did add, like I don't want to say housewife, but basically it's like stay at home.
Yep.
That is a job. Okay, you have to be organized. You got to stay on time and on budget. Scheduling.
Yes,
it's heck of stuff,
and you got to do it within a certain time.
So, and if you can communicate those skills, you can get into tech. It's that easy. You just got to be able to put it on paper. If you're going to do any analytical type jobs like the business analyst, you got to start getting familiar with some analytical tools. There's certain tools that people use. They'd be like, so what tools have you used in the past? Right? So you can go play with some free versions of different tools too, to just kind of say, yeah, I'm familiar with Tableau.
Yep.
I'm familiar with, these different
Power
BI. Yeah, exactly. Cloud-based project management tools like Airtable, Smartsheet, there's some other ones I can't think of right now. What's the one with the A? Asana.
Yeah.
People ain't really using Microsoft Project like that no more. I mean, some people are, but yeah, Smartsheets. So starting to get familiar with tools, and we'll talk to you about some of that too. But I think, what are some others? Like, I think those are big core, I would say soft skills, but they're not necessarily soft. I mean, to me, I don't like to call them soft skills, but they kind of are. Like, you need to be able to be organized. You need to be able to,
how you think too, because as a project manager, is like you have to think, like you said, begin with the end in mind and work back.
Yes.
Do you know how to plan?
Yes, exactly. And you do it all the time. Okay.
And what's important?
When your birthday's coming up,
yep,
you get to planning who gonna be there. You plan where it's
what kind of cake you want, what you want to wear,
how many chairs you need,
how many,
what kind, how much food you need for how many people. Like, there's all kind of stuff that you're already doing that has prepared you to be in these different roles. So you just can't be intimidated by them. You just got to learn to read them that show what skills are required, because they'll have all this laundry list of what your responsibilities are. And then when you get to the skills required, it don't even be all that rocket science.
Right.
You'll be like, I can do that then. If that's what I need to have. Okay, cool. Then y'all teach me about other stuff. You just got to be bold with it. Okay, so let's just talk about some of the type of roles that are not coding, y'all. We're not talking about coding. Me and Kim don't code. Okay, we don't code. I don't code. I actually took a Python course.
Ooh, how was it?
And I got the first thing they teach you is how to type hello, and that's about as far as it glazed over. Now, when I was younger, I probably could have learned it better. But at this point, I was like, I can't deal with all that right now. It's not it. Anyway, so we talked about the business analyst. That's a good little starter pack, right?
Starter pack.
UX design. These are people who are creative.
Yep.
Right. So you're the one who says, okay, I'm looking at my
iPhone,
American Airlines app. They're going to make sure it's user friendly. How does it look when I come on?
What do I want to see?
What am I going to see? Where's the button located? That's too hard. That's not going to, we need to make sure it looks user friendly, basically.
Right. If I swipe over, what am I viewing? What's important?
Yes, exactly.
Positioning on the page.
All of that stuff. So, that's another one that actually one of she was an intern, but she was looking into that, and I was sending her, I refer her some of the girls that we know.
Oh, yes.
When I was like, what was her last name? Remember I asked you?
Yeah.
So I think she sent a note to them. We talked about project management, program management. Once you have gotten good at project managing, then
multiple.
Yeah. Program manager is going to be someone who manages multiple projects
at one time, simultaneously.
Yeah. They just pile it on. No, they do though, but you get more money.
You do.
So those are good ones as well.
Another one is, a lot of companies are now focused on an agile methodology, which you see a scrum master, product owner. Scrum masters are people who work with the developers to ensure that they have everything they need to remove any impediments that could block them from doing the work that they're going to do in a specific short period of time.
Right.
And then the product owner really owns the product to say, okay, these are the features that I want to go in. That's what I want the developers to work on, which I was doing that. I had a really good fun time. And then we also have product managers, which is it's here. It's not up and coming.
That's the one.
They're the ones who really own the product. So you have someone that owns Apple Fitness.
Yes.
How do I make this product the best product ever?
Yes. This is my baby.
Yes.
This is what I want it to look like, how I want it to go. And now I got to communicate that to the team to say, hey, how can we make sure that in the next
release cycle,
when we get the iPhone updates, somebody is making sure, okay, now we want to include that in the next thing, right? So
somebody owns Apple Music. There's a product manager over that. Just all the different components of an app.
Yep. So that's some other ones that we just throw out there for you. Marketing and sales, which is what I'm in, which is sales. I work very closely with marketing because marketing helps me look good. It helps me marketing, and specifically if you're in digital marketing. So you need to understand the full industry, what's going on, how are other companies doing the same things that you're trying to do. What's like for me, it'll be like kind of like similar to like an enablement team, but they're going to make sure I have all the materials I need to present myself well,
right?
Or posting things on LinkedIn that I can share, creating graphics for me to share content, digital ads, Facebook ads, paid media, PR. That's marketing, right? They're going to make sure that we look good, that, all that kind of stuff. You need people skills. Okay. For sales, sales and marketing, sales, for anything that, I think I said this one of the other times we talked about this, but if you can sell, you can sell. It don't matter.
And those are soft skills too, because you and I do this all the time. Like, we're good for a personality test.
Yes.
take a personality test. That'll tell you who you are at your core, what are you good at, and then you can figure out how you can parlay that to a different role that best suits your personality.
Yeah. So if you're go take your DISC assessment, your strengths find. I like strengths finders and Enneagram.
And I use Strengths Finder as strengths when I'm in interviews. I leverage my strengths on my LinkedIn as well as when I tell the story in an interview, like, oh, I'm strategic. This is how I'm strategic.
Tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a strategic thinker. I'm really good
I'm able to woo others over by using my influence.
That's what you use to describe yourself, right? It's a good way to describe yourself in a way that still shows your value. And you don't have to be like, well, I was born in 1979.
Because a lot of times they'll say, well, tell me about yourself. You need to be able to say that within like less than 3 minutes.
And they really want to know, why are we talking to you? And you need to sell yourself on that job. So you're selling yourself every single day. You're doing sales. So for me, I had never worked at the company I work for, obviously. I had never been in the role that I came into, obviously. But I had a skill set of being a relationship builder. I'm good with people, good with communication. I'm good with presenting. And those are the skills, as well as consulting. I had done IT consulting for years. All those problem solving skills that I learned and strategy, I learned, and I bring that over. So when I'm talking to customers, I'm asking them questions for the most part. I'm like, so tell me about your business. What do y'all do? What are your plans? What do y'all want to do? What do you got in? How are you doing that? What tools are you using? I'm asking a bunch of questions, and then I'm looking for ways what solutions I have that can help them with any problems that they're facing. So, oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let me introduce you to Chris. Chris is a specialist in that. I'm sure y'all can talk and make. I don't got to know all that technology. I just need to be able to hear the problem and know where the solution is. So you have to be resourceful. You got to be able to go, have cross-functional relationships with other people in other groups so that they will come over and want to help you. Yeah. Right.
I like it. Another one some people don't realize is data.
Yeah.
Data tells a story. Data is going to help you know who your target market is, who your audience is.
A data analyst or data scientist. You'll see those roles.
And people use data to tell a story. So using Tableau to say, okay, these are the trends that we're seeing. This is why we have issues with supply and chain management.
Yes.
The data is going to tell you. So if you like to ask a lot of questions, you like statistics.
Yeah. I hate statistics, but program managers usually have dashboards and things that they create so the team can visually see what's happening in different programs and projects and stuff like that too. So we need data. We need it to showcase it. That's what companies care about. They don't want to hear this long story about, so I had talked to the customer, show me the numbers.
Show me. I want to see it.
Right. I want to see it. I remember I had a director who he liked pie charts. So every time we did a presentation, it had to have some pie chart visualization in it because
most people like visualization.
I like bar charts better, but he likes bar. It just depends.
Okay. I guess it depends on what the date is. One thing you talked about was marketing and sales. Another subset of sales, customer success manager.
Yes. So customer success, account manager, which my role is shifting into kind of like account manager role. It's all the same. It's keeping those relationships going with the customer. So if you're good at customer service, perfect job for you, because all you got to do is make sure everything is going smooth for your customers all the time.
Yep.
Looking for new opportunities within there that they can renew the old ones, right? We want you to renew it. That means you got to treat you real good so that you want to stay with us, So, and let me tell y'all, all these are 6-figure jobs. So you can make some money. I mean, I feel like we always say 6 figures. This is like, in the ones. And then as you grow in these spaces, you can move up into more, sales unlimited. Okay. The more you sell, the more money you make. That's just how it is. So you're taking a risk, but honestly, in these companies, you get a base salary. It ain't like you on 100% commission. You negotiate your base salary, which could be 6 figures. And you're like, I'm good, but I got to keep selling because I got to sell to be successful.
Exactly.
Right. So you're going to automatically make money if you're meeting your goals. Right. So anywho, So some of the other jobs that we haven't talked about, but we just want to give y'all a quick kind of rundown on some of the titles. Okay. We talked about product manager, software engineers, data scientists, sales managers, product operations managers, program recruiters, and HR as well. I know big. Some HR folks. If you at a tech company, if you working at Meta or Amazon or whatever, they making bank because they get like a little commission too. I think when they get people hired,
I bet
they get like some kind of little
incentive.
Yeah. Customer success and marketing. So yeah, so these are just jobs that are top jobs in tech. Okay. That if you have those skill sets, you don't have to be coding or be all up in the corner that y'all visualize all the tech people being little geeks over here. No, we're missing out, and us as Black women really need to be tapping into this space. Tech needs us bad. It's only 3-4% of us in tech at all. So yes, we're a minority again, as we already are. So you're used to it. So come here and get used to it and get paid. Okay. Now let's talk about places you can just learn some stuff. Listen, I've used all these sites that I'm about to tell you, and I'm only going to give you a couple. LinkedIn Learning.
Yes.
Free.com.
No, I don't know if it's free.
It ain't free?
No.
I have a premium account. Though,
okay, so then yeah, get it together. Don't tell the people out here.
I pay for a premium account with LinkedIn because that's my main social media platform.
Yeah.
And I use that.
It's an investment.
Yeah, for me, it is an investment. So
it's a small investment.
It's not free?
About it. No.
You don't have a premium account?
I do, but I'm telling you,
but how we know it ain't free?
It is not free. LinkedIn Learning is not free.
How much they charge for it? You got to have a premium account?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought it was free. My bad. But y'all should be heavy on LinkedIn anyway.
She's making so much money she don't even know.
It's in my networking budget every month. I have a networking budget that is $50. Okay, every month. So that comes out of my networking budget. That is money I pay to go to events and stuff to network. Most of them you can go to that are free, but some may charge you $10, $15, whatever here and there.
And you said your networking budget every month is what?
$50.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. We make budgets and we'll go eat $50 real quick.
Exactly.
So you need to reinvest that money into how you can leverage it to help with your career.
That's where I'm at. I'm into investing in myself. This is an investment in myself. So, okay, LinkedIn Learn ain't free. Thanks, Kim, because she's your own. Coursera is free. I have used Coursera. Okay.
Is it free?
It is free. Now,
sure?
What you got to do is you got to
tell the people.
So some of the classes you can take, if you want to get an actual certification, they'll charge you, and it's still a small amount. But if you don't necessarily need a certification, you just need the knowledge. So I would go in there and audit classes all the time. And just because I want to know what this is, I want to know about this topic. Go there. You can audit a course and just to learn a subject. Okay. You don't need a certification. Now, if you start feeling like you want to invest in yourself and get a certification, then you can do that. But yeah, anyway. YouTube University.
Free.com.
Free.com. YouTube is free. Literally, you can put anything in there. You'll find somebody that can teach you. I learned how to change the garbage disposal, plumbing stuff, all kind of stuff. But everything is on freaking YouTube. So some of y'all on YouTube right now watching this video. So anyway, that is something that you definitely need to just take your time and get off of some of the other, pages that you might be frequenting on YouTube and take a little bit of time and browse around, because you'll learn stuff about negotiation. You can learn stuff about interviewing, behavioral questions. At these tech companies, they're going to be asking you behavioral questions, STAR method style questions. Start learning how to answer those. Okay. That's a skill set to get hired. Really? You're going to be getting asked that stuff. You're going to go through rounds of interviews. That's the hardest part about getting into a tech company.
Because I think I had about 5-6 rounds.
Yeah, it goes. It goes.
So be ready.
Panels, multiple people, all kind of stuff. So That's that. Now, Udemy is not free, but it can be low cost if you smart. So sometimes, so you'll see a course, let's say you see something on there and it's like $199. You'll be like, ain't nobody about to pay $199. Well, if you wait like a couple weeks, if you keep going back and check, they had these sales like all the time.
Yes.
And that course will be $10.
For real.
And you got to sign up quickly because
take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it. So literally I'll see something, I'll be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come back on that, and then I'll come back later and go through it, So I'm very curious. I'm a curious person.
That's also a skill you need to have, is it insatiable curiosity?
Yes.
Because otherwise you won't learn.
You have to be a learner. Mm-hmm. You have to be someone who's open to learning new things. Mm-hmm. And, Kim and I will share articles every single day. Like, girl, read this article, this book, that book, this video, that video. So make sure you are not just being like, I want to get into tech and then you ain't doing nothing. Do something. You got to say,
I want to get into tech. What should I apply for? This is an opportunity for you to leverage that to say, let me research, come up with my top 3 to 5 and research those roles and research yourself.
Yes.
And do an audit of your skills
before you lose your job. Okay. Don't do this if you lost your job or like something happened bad and you're like, I need to go do something. Don't wait. While you're at your company right now that you're working at and everything is going smoothly, this is the time to start investing in yourself in this education. Don't do it when you need it. Like, start prepping. I'm a person that when I know where I'm going, I'm starting the prep work already, right? So that when I'm ready, I already been doing the work. I'm taking all that. I might have a year worth of prep to do something. That's legit how I do things. I started some programs last year for this year. Mm-hmm. I went through some things last year for this year. I read some books last year for this year. Like, I'm still building and being like, hey, this one. And then guess what? I had a conversation with my boss the other day and I was like, so I'm interested in doing this. So I want to put that in your ear because this is what I would like my moves to be. She said, oh, cool. I got a lot of stuff that you can tap into that I do to help prepare you for that. Some of the budget stuff, some of the things that are happening in the business that I want to get more in depth with. I'm letting her know so that, hey, if some opportunities come up, keep my name in your mind, right? Internally. But hey, if it's nothing internal, I'll be ready if something external happens, whatever. So you just want to be always investing.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yes. But we wanted to take the stigma off of this whole, tech is hard and all that. It's just not. It really is not. So it's something that you have to be
intentional.
Yes. And start networking. Go to some of these virtual events. I think what are some good groups? So if you want to get into sales, Sisters in Sales, y'all go look at our episode with Chantel George from Sisters in Sales. We talked about that, about getting into sales.
Clubhouse, Twitter. Like, I'm not really on Clubhouse.
But
Twitter now has a
Twitter
feature.
Spaces.
Yes. And just go follow somebody in tech.
And listen, getting into tech, they literally have them talks all the time.
It's on Instagram. I saw a girl, she's 27 years old. She was featured on Good Morning America. She has increased her salary upwards $300K.
And y'all young folks, y'all can do it better than we did. We didn't know. We know now. But that's why we're telling y'all now. We want y'all to be better than us. We want you to get out there and avoid all the stuff that we done went through. We did it the hard way. Okay. That don't mean y'all got to do it. Y'all can easily get those internships. If you're in college, start getting internships at tech companies. Like, come on. This is the time. Internships are key because that's how you end up getting your next job, through these companies. Microsoft, Salesforce, Meta, Amazon. These companies, they have internships. So if you can get one, start working on this stuff now. Okay. The information is out there. We just want to make sure, because at the end of the day, we don't want our people to be behind like this no more. A lot of our stuff is because of student loans. I know, because
me too.
We don't have houses and real estate or any kind of asset that we can use to leverage, for our families. And we just don't want to get to the end of our life and have nothing, So we want to be able to pass something down to our children. leave something, not just bills. Okay. We don't want to be leaving no bills. So let's educate ourselves. Let's prevent that. We have time. You got, they said, so where we at 2022 now? So we got 30 years to work on this, y'all. We got this. We can do this. I want y'all to educate yourselves, because then what'll happen is your children are going to be seeing this and they'll already have a jump start. You know, I tell my boys, like, you ain't got to do half of the
stuff. You got the foundation.
You got the information. We starting there. So anyway, hopefully this was good enough to get your juices flowing in the technology space. And if y'all got anything from it, please let us know. Share it in the comments and or hit us up, and go to boldblackgirls.com, send us a message, or go on our Instagram at boldblackgirls on Instagram and share with us your thoughts. All right. You got anything else?
Get that money.
Get that money. Get that money. Because guess what? There. Regular people are getting the bag. All right. So, and that's luxury. Whatever your life that you want it to be, it can be luxurious. You set the tone. You are in charge. All right. Have a bold week. We'll see y'all next time.
Make some bold changes.
Right. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.